Skin the Heart Away Southern T, and I'm back with another EP, and I'm excited, highly excited about this EP in particular. We got Amanda Nunes on the left, and we got Clarissa Shields on the right. They both have fights coming up. Amanda Nunes on the left has a fight coming up December 11th, and we got Clarissa Shields on the right, who has a fight coming up in a couple weeks, actually, October 27th. And if you don't know, I'm here to tell you, Amanda Nunes, who we got on the left, is the baddest woman in the MMA world, in the women's MMA world. And Clarissa Shields, who we got on the right, is the baddest woman in the women's boxing world. And there was a point in time, where we actually were supposed to get this fight. I think a lot of us overlooked it, but I really didn't overlook it. And these two women both have fights coming up. And in the wakes of all that, it really, really got me thinking. Now, let me go and give you a breakdown of these two fighters real quick and what they do in their particular sport. Amanda Nunes, she's 21-4 with 13 knockouts. She stands at 5'8" with a reach of 69 inches. Her last win is against Megan Anderson. She's currently the 145 and 135 champion in the UFC, bantamweight, and featherweight division. My bad, y'all. But Amanda Nunes, she's both the featherweight and the bantamweight champion in the UFC. She's one of few to be a doubleweight champion in the UFC. Not many, has accomplished that feat in her sport. And you got Clarissa Shields on the right. She stands at 5'8" also with a reach of 68 inches. She's 11-0 with 2 KOs and boxing. In her sport of boxing, but she also fights MMA, in which she's 1-0. And her last win in MMA is over Brittany Elkin, and her last win in boxing is over Marie-Eve Dessier. Clarissa Shields is coming off a TKO victory in her last fight against Brittany Elkin, which is MMA, and she also her fight October 27th is an MMA fight coming up against Abigail Monteith. Amanda Nunes also has a fight coming up in December versus Pena. Her first name is slipping me now, but she's a veteran UFC fighter, and her first name is really slipping me, and I apologize, but her last name is Pena. Clarissa Shields is 26. Amanda Nunes is 33 years old. And, in the midst of both of them having a fight coming up, and I just got to thinking, Amanda Nunes is currently the 145 and 35-pound champ in the UFC. She's seen as the baddest woman in the UFC. No one in the UFC MMA is seen to be able to beat her. She has that win over Cyborg, which pretty much solidified her as the baddest woman on the planet. And then you got Clarissa Shields, who's currently the champion, unified undisputed champion at 160, and the undisputed champion at 154, and also the WBC champion at 168 in boxing. Now, often do you get, one woman who's great at combat sports, the way that these two are. And no disrespect to Ronda Rousey, but, this is not, a Ronda Rousey situation going on. We had Layla Ali in boxing at a point in time, but, that was a while ago. Amanda Nunes is the real deal. Clarissa Shields is the real deal. We have been blessed with the chance to have two dominant women in combat sports, in their prime. In their primes, for what it's worth, Clarissa Shields is in her boxing prime, at 26. But with her getting into the MMA sport, she's not in her prime MMA. Amanda Nunes is a prime, MMA fighter. And the reason I'm saying all this, what I mean? I keep saying, that they got fights coming up, and it really got me thinking. We really had a chance to get both of these fighters to fight each other, right now. Like I was stating, not often, do you get a chance to have two women who are great, at combat sport, and, at the same time, in one lifetime, we actually, got a chance and had a real chance for these women to face off already. This is not, like something that's far-fetched or something that couldn't have happened. This is something that Clarissa Shields was, for. Now, I know that a lot of people might be looking at me like I'm crazy or, skeptical, about what's going on. But Clarissa Shields did verbally offer, Amanda Nunes a fight in MMA and in boxing. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to have the link in the description. ESPN MMA News. You can check the link. The link's going to be in the description. Amanda Nunes, turned down this offer, and Clarissa Shields, explained after Amanda Nunes turned it down, exactly what she meant. Amanda Nunes was under the understanding, that she had to fight, Clarissa Shields in the boxing match, and she had, completely just, threw the idea away. You know what I mean? And what Clarissa Shields was saying was that, that both were going to take time and train, that both were going to get about a year. They were going to do the boxing match first and then the MMA match second. But Amanda Nunes, wanted no parts of the boxing match at all. It's also a rumor that, Dana White was on board. And in these interviews that I'm going to have in the description, you can see and hear for yourself, Clarissa Shields said that Dana White actually flew her and her manager out to an Amanda Nunes fight, to sit ringside of Amanda Nunes fight. So Dana White was also, on board with the double fight with the boxing and the MMA. But Amanda Nunes, was the one, who didn't want to step in the boxing ring. And again, to explain, and Clarissa Shields explained this, again, the link is going to be in the bio. Clarissa Shields explained this, that they were going to have a year. Clarissa Shields explained, that she was going to even get some MMA fights in between. And they gave, Amanda Nunes some time, to train boxing or get her some boxing fights in between, which Clarissa Shields is doing now. She's currently fighting MMA now. And she has a second fight, coming up soon. So she said, they were going to take a year, and then they were going to have a boxing match. And then after the boxing match, they were going to have an MMA fight. You know what I mean? So they were going to have a boxing match first, and then an MMA fight. So we as fans actually were supposed to already have these two great Titans, these two great women collide in the boxing ring and in the MMA ring. Clarissa Shields was on board. Dana White was on board. The only, missing piece was, Amanda Nunes, being on board with it. Clarissa Shields, had agreed to fight MMA, and she just wanted, Amanda Nunes to get in the boxing ring. Amanda Nunes stated in her video, I'm going to have both links in the video, both ESPN MMA interviews. Amanda Nunes spoke and Clarissa Shields spoke. Amanda Nunes spoke, she's not going to box her. And even if they fought MMA, she's not going to strike with her. She's going to take it down. From what I got from both, Amanda Nunes wants absolutely nothing to do with Clarissa Shields striking in the boxing ring in general. So I just think it was a missed opportunity. Amanda Nunes is 33, Clarissa Shields is 26. Who knows? We might get it later. But, we could have got it at a time where both were in their prime. You know what I mean? Amanda Nunes is not getting any younger, and Clarissa Shields is 26. I just think when you got an opportunity like this, you're supposed to take it. And maybe that's just me being a fan, but I think with Amanda Nunes and Clarissa Shields having this kind of opportunity, I think it was something that, that was supposed to happen. I think it's something that they, could have made happen. And I think it's terrible that we didn't get it. But, it is what it is. Skin the Hardaway certainty. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out.